Hey guys, I'm Kevin and welcome to Homestead Gains. It's a beautiful fall day out today. It's about 37 degrees this morning, but it's warmed up into the low 50s right now. We got some interesting happenings going on today. We've got the people across the street in the cornfield are going to be harvesting today. So we got to see them bring the big John Deere over. I'll see if I can get that behind me. Oh, there you go. You can see it right up in there. They got the corn head on it. They're going to be doing their harvesting today. So that's always exciting. We love to just sit there and watch them, listen to the tractor go. But something I wanted to ask about, because I don't know everything. I'm kind of starting out. I came from a suburban background. I've lived in cities, I've lived in suburbs, and I'm out in the country now. And I'm catching on quick, but there's some things I don't understand. And one of them is trapping. So we've got a large rodent trap that I've put out, and I've had this out probably 6 different times in different places. And we have a woodchuck that used to live under this barn until I filled that in. Then he moved in under this barn. And he also or she, I don't know, I never asked, also goes under here. Right underneath there. So I've tried trapping him a couple of times. I've had that trap right here in the bottom, down here in the dirt. I've had it down here. I've had it out here. I've had it in the back of the chicken coop because he was also digging in the back of the coop. And he doesn't have any interest in any of the bait I put in there. I've tried cucumbers, peanut butter, apples, tomatoes, pumpkin, and I know they're vegetarian. I know they eat during the day. So I make sure it's out there the night before. So in the morning when he comes up, he tries to get something to eat. Hopefully we trap him. So either it's just a smart animal and knows better than to go into a trap, or I'm using the wrong stuff. So if you can help me out, put in the comments down below what you've used to trap woodchucks. That would be fantastic. Let me spin you around. There they go. They're about to start harvesting. Farmer just climbed up in the cab. Yesterday, I went through this whole section and mulched up the leaves with the mower and blew them all into the center. And it's getting covered right back up again. He's going to go down the back side and make a headland up there that they're going to use to turn around in. And then once he gets that outside edge done, then he goes to do this rows back and forth in the middle. And all that chaff coming out the back just lands on the field, and they'll end up disking that in to become fertilizer for next year. Just put some more organic matter back in the dirt. This is just so interesting to me to see this harvester working. knowing that we came 100 years ago from people doing this all by hand, wrapping it up, harvesting the corn, to where we are today, letting the machinery do it, and just harvesting loads and loads and loads of corn. Now, the corn that they're harvesting back there isn't human edible. The corn they're harvesting is, I don't know, I guess it's called field corn or feed corn. But basically, it's a not very sweet variety, but they take that to the ethanol plant and grind it down and mix it with whatever to come up with ethanol that they put in your gasoline. And then they take some of the leftover and feed that to the cattle to make milk. We have a big dairy business down here. I'm going to walk down into the garage. I want to show you a project I'm working on. All right. Now, no judging, because this garage is used for storage for a lot of things. This was my father-in-law's father's Bollins tractor. I believe it's a 1200 is the model number. It's got a Milwaukee engine, gasoline, and I've got the wheels off of it because they're all flat. They all need tubes. I'm working on the engine. The exhaust and the intake needed work. One of the butterfly valve actuators was broken, so I had that welded up, and now it's just a matter of putting it all back together again. But the cool thing is, with that came a snowblower and a plow, snow plow. So once I get this thing up and running and functional again, I'll be able to really clean the driveway the way I need to up in this time. So I will keep you guys along. I'm waiting to get one more part for that, and then I'll have a video showing where I put that together and how I work on it and get it put back together again. There he is doing the front. One other thing I have to do, the ducks keep hopping the fence right over the top of the fort. So I need to unravel this and open up this little pathway so they can get back in here where their food and water is. And I need to get their water redone. This is one of the things I have to do a couple of times a week, is come in here and change their water. The ducks pretty much take care of themselves. You just got to feed them, keep their water clean, and I think that's one of the hardest things with the ducks is to keep their water clean, because they root around in the mud and then they come and drink their water with a mouthful of mud, and that just gets it all gunked up. And then they don't like going in it because they can't see what's in it, and so they're a little sketchy. So I like to keep it clean. I probably replace it every other day. The way I see it, they live in the wild in a pond, and that gets refreshed whenever there's a rain. But if it doesn't rain for a couple weeks, it's going to get dirty. I mean, they're ducks. Okay, I can let that go in there and fill for a minute. And let's go get their eggs. Go through here, into the coop. And ducks like to hide their eggs. There we go. That's what we wanted. 4 good eggs. And duck eggs are delicious. Some people don't like them as much as chicken eggs. Some do. I am one of the ones that do. And not just because they're larger. They also usually have a darker yolk and a thicker consistency. They're just a little more substantial than a regular chicken egg. What do we have in here? We've got 2, 5, 9. That's typically what we get every day, is about 9 eggs. We've got 12 chickens. One of them is the rooster. So we have 11 hens. And we've been consistently getting 9 eggs. So I'm not sure if that's normal or not. I mean, you'd think 1 to 1. Who's that? Oh, Mr. Rooster, whom we've named Roger. Roger wants to know what's going on in here. But I guess we can't expect them all to be laying every day. I assume some will lay one day and others the next, or maybe we just have a couple that don't have the ability. All right, let's see how our water's doing. And while we're waiting for that, I'll show you what's left of the garden from a wide angle. We've got 2 raspberry bushes back there inside the fence and a little blueberry bush. that I've covered up with about 2 inches of straw, and I put coffee grounds underneath the straw and the dirt around them to acidify the soil. And then the rest of the garden just looks like that after we disked it up. It gave us a lot of pickling cucumbers. It gave us a lot of peas. It gave us a lot of tomatoes, especially those cherry tomatoes. We got an overabundance of the cherry tomatoes. And the Romas, I don't know if I showed you in a video, we got some late blight on the Romas. And so we basically had to trash most of those. They just were no good. They went to the compost. Our next step is to plow it up, disc it again. We're going to lay some winter rye over the field. We're going to spread that over it and let that grow in. And hopefully that'll put some nutrition back in the soil and give us a good start next year. All right, that's about full enough for what they're going to do in here. All right, take my eggs and head inside.